Right, class. So we have that. So I need two students to come up to the board for and answer our two more questions for today. Okay, okay, I see. Okay, so the first problem is right, so that's good. And still waiting on the second student to come up to the board. Okay, I see where you're going, but I think we're still. But it looks like our problem is not correct. Can you explain why our problem is not correct right for the second problem? That's good. Good. So we already know that we had a negative exponent right here. So we already know we turn this into a positive exponent, which is true. However, this is not the case remember our negative root property. Anytime we change our exponent, a negative exponent to a positive exponent, we had to move it to another place. So this is at the top. This will be at the bottom. So now we have 10 x to the cube, then over 3 y to the fifth. So this should be our answer for our second problem. And so you should all have had the answers for both problems, right? Well, both problems were one of us. So now we're gonna go into our lesson. So now we're gonna continue on our law exponents. So now today we're only gonna cover the power rules, and this is part of. Well, this is not right, because again, we're using our notes from because this is not what we're covering. We're only covering power rules, so this should be what we're covering for today. We're not covering power yet, so we're not focused on that. Yeah, that the power rules is always going to be our first row for star reference chart is always going to be under the properties of exponents because that's all where our laws will be in this case, except for our zero rule in this case. So now that you y'all 30 seconds to turn and talk to your shoulder partner, or I want you to look at this problem and tell me what you're wondering and what you notice in this problem. Well, and your 30 seconds starts right now. Okay, so class, can you share with me what you notice about this problem or what you're wondering about this problem? Okay, so we got the same basis, so that's true. Yes, we got different exponents, so that's also true in this problem. You're wondering well, how we got 2 to the 7th power? That's a good question. You say, oh, the multiplication might not be correct. That's true. So, but we're going to explain a little bit more depth in this case. So in this case, in our problem, and we're going to go a little bit further. In this case, when we're ever talking about the power rules, in this case, we always want to make sure our bases are the same. So we got the bases of 2. And anytime our bases are always the same, the rule is we must add our exponents together here whenever we multiply. So in other words, since we got 4, we're going to put a plus right here. And this is 3. That means our exponent at so will result in 4 plus 3, and we get 7. So is to the 7th power, hmm, which is what we want to get in this case. We're not worried about doing calculations just yet. We just want to get used to the law first before we do calculations just yet. So we're gonna hold on calculations just for right now. We just need to get some practice on the law first. So sorry. Okay, so we're gonna do this. So do our next problem. So we got 2 to the 6th power times 2 to the second power. So can anyone tell me what is the missing exponent in our answer in this case? Okay, you said 8. So how we got 8? Oh, I see. So 6 plus 2, because we got 6 right here. We got 2 right here. So we already know this has got to be 8. Very good. Let's look in the next problem. So what do you think is the missing exponent in this case? Hmm. Oh, you say 7. Okay, so how do you think we got 7? I see. So so you did 10 minus 3 is 7, which is true because we could get 7 from that way. Right, right. But we could all, does anyone else has another idea how we get 7 in this case? Oh, you noticed this. So we noticed that this is 3. We know to get to 10, we have to get this add 7 to it. So there's multiple ways we could do it in this case and find an exponent in this case. We just have to know read for something from backwards or read for forward, we still get the same answer no matter what case it is. Now we have our next problem. Now this next problem does look like something is a little odd. Can someone tell me what the problem looks a little bit off in this case? Oh, you notice the bases are not the same thing. So this is a good step to explain why is this the case. So in other words, we got the base of 3 and base of 2. However, in this case, when we talk about products of power, or the rule is we must have the same base to order to use to our exponent. Since we got two different bases, we cannot use the product of power rule. So in other words, we have to leave this as it is. We cannot add them together to get something. So this is a nor we're not gonna nor find what is the new exponent for our base of 3. We're just gonna leave this as it is because they're different bases, so we're not gonna mess with them. Now, can you tell me what is the exponent for our missing exponent in this case? Okay, you say 9. That's pretty much true because 1 and 8 equals 9. So we already know this has to be 9 in this case. And like I say, variables don't really they work the same as numbers. So we have to be understanding that variables and numbers can change us in certain point. The next problem. So we got a negative exponent. So then tell me what is the missing exponent in this case if we got. Oh, you said -3, so how do we got -3 in this case? Okay, so you add 4 and you add -7, which is true because you get -3 because remember, in addition, in this case, we already know if we had a higher negative, our answer had to be negative, so we already know 4 plus 7 would be -3. However, this is not the simplified answer because our rule, we want to get down to the simplified form in this case because this is where you will have to get to that point on your test. And tests coming up soon after we go over all these logs. In this case, this is now where we mentioned we need to use the negative exponent rule in this case. So I already know this we had a -3. I know I could turn this into a positive, but I have to move this down because it was already at the top. This is over one. So in other words, in the we have 1 over y equals to the y y to the third power. So this is our simplified answer in this case. Does anyone have any questions on this? Okay, we have no questions, so let's move on to the next problem. Uh-oh, so we got two bases now. So this is going to be a little bit challenging, but we can make this more clarified in this case. Remember our rule is same bases, we'll add. So in other words, we're only going to focus x and x to get our exponent, and we're going to focus on y and y to get our exponent for y. So if someone can tell me what is the exponent for x in this case? 6. Yeah, so our exponent for x will be 6. Now what is the exponent for y? Yes, 8 is our exponent. So in other words, we had x to the 6, y to the 8. Okay, and we could always separate them to make it easier. So we could do x squared times x to the 4. For those who are still going so for those who might be struggling with breaking them apart, we can just separate them to make it easier. So x squared times the fourth will be x to the 6th. Same thing, we'll do y to the 5th times y cubed. This is now going to be y to the 8th. Now we're at our point where we be able to write the definition of what is the proper rules. In this case, where we multiply with the same base, we want to keep the base and saying and add the exponent. So on your paper, in the blanks, you should write same base and add the exponents. And this is what we will see on our star reference chart, and this is where you will see most likely on the test as well. So now we're gonna go do our practice problems in this case. So we got two examples in this case. So someone can tell me what is x to the 6 times x to the 4? Okay, so we got x to the 10. That is good. Now someone tell me what we get for a to the 4 times a to the negative 6. No, it's not negative 10. So we're not so let's look carefully in this case. So we got add, we got 4, we got negative 6. Remember, higher number in this case. Okay, so that says we got a higher negative. So we had to have a negative in this case. So what is 4 plus negative 6? Can you tell me? Okay, so we got negative 2. Is this our simplified answer? No, so we cannot leave it as is. So in other words, we have to do our negative exponent rule. So this is be 1 over a to the second power. And that's our simplified answer. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to work on these three problems. I will go around, check your paper to see if you got it right, right, or right, or sorry. Check and see if you got it right, and circle if you got it wrong, before we continue on to the next part of the lesson. And we'll go over it in the next few minutes. So I give you 5 minutes to work on these problems.